among all the craziness going on right now, Putin, NATO, squaring off. This is the inevitable, really, conclusion to the story of this conflict that's going on for exactly 2 years now. And this is the story of the last 30 years of NATO continually creeping along the line that was supposedly never supposed to be crossed and creeping closer and closer to Russia. These are facts. There's no one on either side that can go back and dispute that it is what it is. And it's akin to, at the expense of myself being called an apologist, truth is truth. And this is what we're going to do here on this channel. We're going to continue to find playable characters, people that can speak truth, that are searching for truth, and are questioning everything with boldness. This would be the same, again, as a foreign country with a lot of armament going into Cuba or coming into a neighboring country right off the shores of America. What would we do? How would we be acting? And again, we have this same thing, which I'm going to share the screen here of what's actually happening. And you have, of course, Putin saying that if we are going to do this, and you're going to send now, not only admit NATO to the EU, which again is something that has been warned against, you have to think, why is this happening? Why is all this happening? What is going on? Why are we continually prodding the bear? What is the reason? No one in America that I know of wants to be fighting in wars left and right. The Middle East, weapons of mass destruction. Now we're in the Middle East. We're in Ukraine. What is going on? Who is calling for this? And you have people like the Victoria Newlands of the world. You have people like the Mitch McConnells. You have people all over the place with their hands in the cookie jars telling us how good war finance is, the war pigs, if you will, telling us, well, this cash is going right back into our system. Buy our stock, buy Raytheon, buy Lockheed Martin. There's no bigger supporter. Well, I'm sure there is, but I've been a military buff my entire life. I wanted to be a Navy SEAL. I wanted to be a fighter pilot, and I chose to go and play professional hockey, or at least try to. And I went and did that. And I played for my country. I played for the U.S. national team. If there's anyone who wants to see America succeed more than me, please show me. Please show me. We have to fight truth, or fight darkness with light. We have to start telling the truth. We cannot let leaders that are compromised and are in it for their own gain and benefit to be running this world, the geriatric class, which is running things right now, the Victoria Newlands, the Trump or Biden even, right, both sides, all these people, that the legacy system is crumbling, and we are trying to fight problems from the existing system, as Jeff Booth would say. Why are we continuing to poke the bear? What is the reasoning behind this? What is the reason that we continue to poke the bear and we continue to get in these conflicts left and right? And then we're continually pounded over the head with this talk of fear, and that if we don't do this, if we don't do that, democracy is on the brink if we don't do something. And the war financing is good, though. Don't worry. And then when we want to audit those things, we can't do it. Won't let us do it. So if it's so good and it's so amazing, then why can't we audit it? Why can't we audit and see exactly where the cash is going? Every last dollar of ours is spent. Then you have Nayib Bukele coming in this week and saying that taxation, why are you paying taxes? My American citizens questioning us, coming to CPAC, questioning us, saying, why are you paying taxes when the government just prints currency? Because it's creating the false illusion that you're actually funding the government. We ain't funding the government. Beardsley Rummel told us in the 40s, in American Affairs magazine, the New York Fed head said, taxes for revenue are obsolete. They literally said the quiet part out loud. The bankers, the central bankers in New Zealand, we just played this clip the other day of them literally admitting and saying, we just print the currency. I mean, how many times do you have to be told that you are being beat over the head with a shovel, and you just continue to not listen? Most people want a hard life. They want things to be bad. They want things to complain about. There's no other explanation at this point. I don't know. You have people all over the place. Well, it's a great business to be in central banking. Ha ha ha. How many times do people need to be shown they are being lied to? How many times do people need to be shown that the people in power have zero interest in their life, zero negative interest in their life and their well-being? And yet we just continue letting people, bygones be bygones. We continue voting these people back into power. We just let this happen. The 99% could change things like that. Politics is downstream of culture. If culture changes, this is the best part. Well, if we can't choose our money, the government won't let us use that amazing money over there. Why not? It's America. What, does our vote not count anymore? And if it doesn't, then we got bigger problems on our hands we should probably talk about. Again, these are very simple if-then statements. A plus B equals C. And we're going to continue doing these things where we go down these roads, continue poking the bear. We're going to keep creeping. NATO countries keep creeping closer and closer to Russia. We're going to then, you can't include Ukraine in NATO. Well, what are we eventually doing? Well, we're going to include Ukraine in NATO. Don't do Finland. Well, we're doing that. Well, don't do Turkey. Well, we're trying to do that. Why? Can our missiles not reach that far? We need one more country closer. Are missiles getting less and less effective range? I mean, again, I'm trying to boil this down to the simplest of simple ways to think about this. Why? And most problems in life are not that complex. They really aren't. People say, well, Brandon, you don't have all the details. You don't have all this and that. Well, if we just followed 10 commandments, if we just followed 10 rules, we wouldn't have anything of these things to deal with. So life is pretty simple, actually. When you think about it, it actually is pretty simple. There's not much, there's nuance to it, but it's simple. The overarching macro themes, logic, reasoning, intuition, using our higher faculties, following these 10 truth, first principles, natural law. These are pretty simple, basic, overarching concepts. And humans tend to mess these things up. Humans are the most beautiful things on the face of the earth. The goodness inside of them is the most beautiful thing. And the intelligence and the creativity, the imagination, the reasoning, the memory, everything is so beautiful. What makes us different than animals. And yet we continually put our heads in the sand and don't look around and don't figure out what is happening. We continue to poke bears. We continue to try to fund things through this broken apparatus, this monetary standard that is completely broken. You can't have a good and just society. You can't have capitalism. You can't have free markets on a broken monetary system, on a broken money that is turned now into a currency, a fiat currency that some man can print and counterfeit in the basement of his home, the Treasury, Federal Reserve, a bank, etc. You can't do it. It's impossible. We're seeing the remnants of a broken monetary system, the fiat, debt-based, legacy monetary system. And we're in that now. We're in the death throes of that. What are we going to do to get out? How are we going to be active? You can vote with the ballot box and the ammo box. The big things now, though, voting with your mouth, voting with your feet, and voting with your wallet. Choosing the money. The silent protest. Choosing the money. Politics downstream of culture. Things will change. They absolutely will. The gerontocracy is leaving power in the coming years. Things will rapidly change. And maybe this is all for naught. But I would like to see collateral damage minimized in the interim here, in this transition. I don't want anyone to get hurt. I don't want anyone around me to get hurt. I don't want to be hurt. Please send this out. Algorithm hates truth. Question everything with boldness, even the existence of God himself. Trust but verify what I'm saying. Go do this research yourself. Go look at this. Ask yourself, why are we doing these things? Why do we continue to, is this reason, again, why we can't audit things? The politicians won't let us audit things and audit the cash going to Ukraine or going to these wars. Is that maybe a reason why? Maybe that they come into power, many of them broke or having very little to their name, and then all of a sudden, a $200,000 a year salary, they're just leaving with tens of millions of dollars in cushy jobs in military contracting companies. This is beyond me. This is not financial advice, it's freedom advice. I look forward to seeing you on the next one.